Argentina is preparing for a runoff presidential election. The results of the October poll were too close to name an outright winner. The vote will decide the successor to Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner, who is unable to run for a third term in office. CCTV's Joel Richards joins us live from Buenos Aires. Joel, what is the mood like ahead of the elections?
Good afternoon, Susan, from Argentina. Well, anyone who's taking a quick look on social media would say the mood's pretty frantic ahead of what is a historic election. Perhaps it goes without saying that any national elections are, of course, historic, but tomorrow Argentines go to the polls to vote the successor for the Kirchner government. It's 12 years of Kirchner governments. First, Néstor Kirchner, the late president, followed by 2 terms of office for Cristina Fernandez de Kirchner. And of course, what we've seen in Argentina over the last 12 years is major social change, and at the same time, in the last 4 or 5 years or so, slow economic growth, many economic problems with high inflation and many other wider problems, if you like. So that's really if you like, what's at stake going into Sunday's vote. Then is which direction does Argentina want to take? There are 2 candidates: Daniel Scioli, the government candidate, and Mauricio Macri. Scioli is the current Buenos Aires province governor. Mauricio Macri, the Buenos Aires mayor. So it's a face-off between those two. Scioli, one candidate saying he's looking for more continuity. Mauricio Macri, well, he's based on his slogan for his campaign is really the name of the coalition that he leads, which is "Let's Change." So a big choice for Argentina tomorrow.
Joel, tell us, obviously you've laid out how the economy is clearly the main concern there for Argentines, but how will the elections affect the international relations of the country?
It's an interesting question, Susan, because obviously we've seen a very certain style of leadership from the Kirchner governments in recent years that's been quite combative, especially against the likes of many financial institutions. You remember that Argentina is still in the face of a legal battle in New York over the debt restructuring from the 2001-2002 crisis. So both candidates offering something different. The bigger headlines, if you like, really are coming from Mauricio Macri, the Buenos Aires city mayor, as we said, the opposition candidate. He's spoken out against Venezuela. He's saying may even cut off relations there. He'll certainly look for a closer relationship with the United States. And he's also said, Susan, that he'll look to review the contracts and the financial agreements between Argentina and China and with Russia. So big changes there if Mauricio Macri were to win. Daniel Scioli, on the other hand, will probably look for a broader alliance, really from his government, but certainly look to closen ties with the United States, which have been cut off in recent years.
Joel Richards live in Buenos Aires. Joel, wonderful. Thank you.